It's spring, it's warming up, and it's time to improve our fitness or keep it going with some new activities. Hi, I'm Dottie LaRonge, and I'll be your host on this interactive episode of In the Know Women's Show. Yes, interactive. So grab a towel, join us back here after the show opening. So our guests today will be Mel Younglove and Morgan Thompson. They are personal trainers from one of our local athletic clubs. They're going to share something about who they are, how they decided to commit to be fit, and exercises we can do just about anywhere, in the club or at home. Please tell us what you currently do and how long you've been in this position. Start with you, Mel.
Okay. I am currently a personal fitness trainer at the Valley Athletic Club. I've been doing this for 4 years. I am passionate about working out and being healthy, and decided that after I finished my professional career, this is what I would like to do, give back to people and see if we can't all be healthier.
You've been a member of the Valley for quite a while, haven't you?
I was a member for 30 years before I decided. I started out in physical therapy. Next door, I had blown up an ACL in a skiing accident, and I liked what I saw, and I raised my kids there. It just gave me an opportunity to do all of the things physically that I wanted to do.
How about you, Morgan?
I have been in the personal training space specifically for only 1 year. Prior to that, I've been teaching group fitness classes, which I really enjoy. I have a specialty focus also in water group fitness. I help people attain fitness and exercise in ways that they might not normally be able to do on land. So the water has been a really great way to allow people to still explore their bodies and exercise in the water. Prior to that, I've been an athlete my entire life, which I really believe kind of set me up into this space that I have years of experience doing this myself to be able to tap into and hopefully share and inspire other people on their fitness journey as well.
Well, you've already explained that you were physically active growing up.
Yeah.
How about you, Mel?
I was physically active. We skied as a family from the time I was about 12. I also was involved in music, so I wasn't an athlete in school, but have continued to work out and lift weights and do things most of my life.
And what made you decide to follow this career path?
I know how much better I feel when I work out. I know it's a good way to control my weight, my sleeping, my stress. And after having had an in-the-office job for so long, I thought maybe I can help other people find out how to do that. Mm-hmm. And I'm obviously a little older than most of the trainers, and was hoping that people would see that no matter what age we are, we can be better physically and be better prepared for our daily activities.
Do you target or have a group that really respond to your expertise?
I do. I run several small fitness groups. The members of the 4 classes are from about 60 to about 85. One of them we call HIT Your Way, some strength and endurance, and we just take all of the exercises and put them at the level that anyone in the group can do. I like training one-on-one, but I also enjoy having a group of 4 to 6 people. I feel like I can still give them individual, but we can build a little competition, accountability with each other, laugh with each other, laugh at ourselves. So it's most of my clients, or a good share of them, though, are 50 and over.
How about you, Morgan?
I have a great variety of activity and people in all age groups. Specifically in the water, I will say that generally that becomes a great option for exercise for aging populations as well. So I have found a niche in helping people manage pains, injuries, old injuries, surgeries, rehabilitations in the water. And so that has been a real privilege to see people maintain hope and encouragement when they're feeling like their body is working against them a little bit. So working in the water, has really allowed me to focus in on people who really need that extra help and encouragement and maybe doubt their aging bodies.
Was this probably from your being in athletics your whole life?
Yeah, it really was. My water experience started out in water polo in high school, believe it or not. And so I really got to experience the intensity of the water and the amount of effort you have to put forth to move in the water. So that was my first introduction, and it was very challenging and inspiring at the same time. But now I feel like I bring that same knowledge to people who are a little foreign to working in the water, or maybe their experience in the water has only been lap swimming. I think traditionally that's what we think about. And I have been really excited to meet people who are now able to use the water for more functional movements. And so definitely my past activities in athletics have led me to be able to share now with people what they are capable of as well.
I'm sorry, I have to ask. How do you tread water so long playing polo?
That's lots of training. We empty gallon jugs, specifically empty gallon jugs filled up with water, above the water, tread the water.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. Specifically, that is how we
Oh my
train to tread water.
goodness sakes.
Yes, give it a try. Just try one jug. We had two. Yeah.
I can't tread water with just one hand up.
It's a skill.
And I sink like a rock, so I'm not sure. Thank goodness you have
Thank goodness. Yes.
the belts.
The belts. We do get and lots of belts and all the accessories we would need. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you play other sports in school?
I did. I played track and field was my main focus for many years from a young age, early elementary school, but I also dabbled in soccer for many years, basketball, softball, and water polo. And so that really led me to an adulthood where fitness is still important to me, and that void and that need to express your body in that way. And so that's how I like to inspire other people as well.
What sports were you doing in track and field?
I was a sprinter. So
You're tall.
yes, and I've heard that before. You're tall for a sprinter. I was tall for a sprinter, but I definitely have that mentality of the quick and the exciting and the adrenaline and that quick heart rate. And so I bring that passion to my personal training as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I've known you both for a while, and I'm surprised I'm learning new things I didn't know about you. I'm pleased to be able to do this, so thank you for letting me.
It's fun.
So, does your husband share your joy in this routine of life that you have?
Yes, he really does. And actually, he's very instrumental in it. He has a history. We actually met in our track and field careers in college. Both of us were collegiate athletes, and that's where we met. We were on the same track team during college. Go Broncos, Boise State. And so that's where we started together. And so we have that nostalgia together. We had that experience together. And then present day, we take that pattern into our adult lives and in our family lives. And he pours so much wisdom and experience. And hey, you should try this with your client. Or why don't you try this? I tried this one. And so I'm very thankful for that partnership. And it's so important in life to have those partnerships of encouragement and inspiration, that you're doing it together.
And I know you've got 3 children.
I do.
How many of them want to do the activities that mom does?
All of them, more often than not. Music is a great inspiration. That is the number one way I get motivated to work out, and it pulls my kids right in. And as soon as they see me moving and exercising, it doesn't matter really what I'm doing. You know, as long as I'm moving and the music's on, then everybody's involved.
So Mel, who are some of your role models?
Well, I have to say my female role model was Cha-Cha Muldowney. She was a drag racer.
Yes, ma'am. My
And
era.
Wow.
and yeah, and I always wanted to be able to have a race car like Cha-Cha, and I never got to have that.
I did.
Did you? Oh, yeah, that was my goal, and to be able to race. You know, I'm a little bit of a risk taker, or a little daredevilish, and so things like I climbed Mount Rainier the year I was 50.
Excellent.
I did a Spartan with my 28-year-old niece 3 years ago. So I like having a goal, something to work for, something that I haven't done before. And so being physically fit and strong are the only way I can do the kind of silly, ridiculous things that I do.
What is the next bucket list item?
Well, I learned to scuba dive a few years ago. That was a big one because I'm claustrophobic. But you know, I love diving. It takes a lot of strength. The next one I think is going to be probably jumping out of an airplane. So, yeah. And you know, your core is involved in all of those things. And I have a very bad back. I've had 2 back surgeries, couple knee surgeries. So I just have to keep physically strong in order to be able to do the stuff I want. I'm not ready to sit in a chair and watch life go by.
Oh gosh, no.
So,
You've never struck me as that type of person. Neither one of you, actually. So do you, besides having children and running your career at the pool, are there other challenges you want to tackle?
Yes, actually. I'm so glad Mel touched on her amazing hobbies, because I'm surrounded by people who do really incredible things with their free time and have really great goals. And I've actually been inspired to try my first Ironman triathlon sprint, because you got to start somewhere, you know?
Yes.
So it's a shortened version, condensed. You have a swimming portion into your bike, into your run. And so I'm eyeing a race this summer.
Where will it be at?
Well, I'm hopefully in Lake Chelan. I'm still TBD. If anybody knows, I've been looking to see if they're running it this year. But I do know there are other events in Washington. Washington is a great state for these things. So I'm gonna, but someone shared that they did a sprint Ironman, and I get inspired by other people that I surround myself with. The people that I hear, you're climbing Mount Rainier, I want to climb Mount Rainier. Let's go. Let's give it a try. Yeah. So that's what inspires me, is that other people near me, the people that I associate with, are doing incredible things, and I'm like, I want to try that. And then you have a partner to do it with.
Yes,
you know?
you do.
You do.
You
Yeah.
ladies need to hook up now and
I
see
know.
what
I'm
works.
like, I need to scuba dive now. That's what I'm saying. Like, now I need to scuba dive. I did jump out of a plane once.
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
It's on my list.
I won't say anything.
Okay.
What is key to making health and wellness a priority?
You know, it takes some discipline. It also takes a good partner. I have been blessed in my almost 40 years of working out to have first a great running partner. We ran at 4:30 in the morning, and if I didn't get up, I knew she was running in the dark. You know, so finding someone that feels as committed as you are. I don't want to be limited by what my body can do, so I know I have to push it in order to be able to do the things. There are 4 types of aging: biological, psychological, social, and chronological. I can't do anything about the chronological. I'm 68, but mentally, physically, I feel much younger. And most of my friends are, you know, younger and active, you know, whitewater raft, ski. So in order to do those things, I have to stay physically fit and strong.
You are a perfect example of taking care of yourself and looking younger.
Thank you.
You could win one of those contests of how old are you?
Yeah.
And they'd say 58. You could win money at the carnivals because they guess.
Well, thank you, Dottie. Maybe I'll do that for my next career.
Your next career. Your next career.
In the next, after you do these other items that are on
Yes.
your list. Yes.
Yes.
So how about you, Morgan?
Repeat the question one more time. I'm sorry. I was so I was listening to Mel. I'm like, look at all the great things. Say it again.
How important was it for you to become healthy and make this wellness work for you?
Yeah. So it's always kind of been in my back pocket. It started like as a child in athletics. It was a social experience, right? And I think even as an adult, we can identify with that the social aspect can be really motivating. So that is still one way that I find enjoyment in what I'm doing. And the second one is enjoyment. And I think exercise is so versatile that there is no one lane. And so finding something that speaks to you, that you enjoy doing with your time. And I feel like I've found that. And I love teaching my group fitness classes. I teach a high intensity body combat, some mixed martial arts inspired class. And it's cathartic, you feel it's the release of the endorphins and my friends that are with me and the music. I'm gonna keep coming back to the music. It's always the bass, that's what I feel, the bass.
It's all about the bass.
It's all about the bass, it really is. And so that's how I've been able to keep it a priority in my life, trying to check those things. I'm a people person, I'm a music person. And then the activity itself, and the sky's the limit. So many activities, outside, inside, equipment, no equipment, water, no water.
And we do have participation coming up a little bit later.
Yes.
So don't leave the screens right now. You touched on it a little bit, Mel, about is there an age that a person should quit exercising?
Absolutely not. I train people from 15 to 100. Before I would train someone, I always talk to them, do you have any injuries? Do you have any medical conditions that I should be aware of? If you do, would you please have your doctor approve us? I know that I have limitations in where my scope is. I love working with doctors and physical therapists and people, but you just change the activity to match the ability of the people that you're working with. Balance is important for all of us, and do some fun balance exercises, things like reaching up on the top shelf in the cupboard. That takes tricep muscles, and we don't develop tricep muscles just doing what we normally do. So
Watching TV with the remote.
yeah, the remote doesn't, you don't even get a bicep curl there.
No, you don't.
So, yeah. So I think people at any age, really, you need to keep moving. Arthritis is a real thing as we get older. The worst thing you can do if you're arthritic is to sit. You need to keep moving and keep doing things. And, just a good walk with a friend is a great social opportunity, but it keeps you moving. So unless a doctor told me someone was not capable of doing a physical exercise, I would say you do it as long as you live. And it keeps you younger.
So Morgan, have you had anybody in your classes show up and say, I can't do that, the water's going to hurt me, it's going to ruin my skin? Any of those questions that you get?
Oh yes, and there's always worries and doubts about why it might not be a good fit for you, and I find that there's always an answer and there's always a solution, and keep trying it over and over again. So many things we think are issues and problems or obstacles really turn out to might not be, and so I'm always encouraging people. My rule is always the five try.
Okay.
Give it 5 times, come to 5 classes, let's do 5 sessions, give it 5 repetitions, and then let's see how we feel about it. Because no one's really great at something the first time they try. I mean, very rarely is that the case. And our confidence probably isn't very high either the first time we start. So I love to see the growth and the confidence develop in people, and then ultimately finding solutions to things that, yeah, we thought were problems.
Just changing
Just-
a position
yeah,
or an exercise a little bit.
Exactly.
Can take.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or adding equipment maybe, especially in the water. I kind of throw the rule book out the window. We have flotation belts, for instance. And if you're in a shallow pool and you can put your feet on the floor, a belt really wouldn't be necessary. But for some people, it's that little extra addition that really makes their workout that much more doable and enjoyable. And so it's just a matter of trying new things, adjusting where needed, and then repetition, right? We're not going to give up on this. We're going to give this a good shot.
So how long should somebody exercise?
That's a good question.
Oh boy. Well, exercise, there are several different components. We need to do weight and strengthening exercises, especially women. We can have osteopenia, osteoporosis. The muscles need to be jarred a little bit to rebuild. So you need some strength, some weight, you need cardio. You need to get your heart rate up for a time period. I usually ask my clients to let's start with 10 minutes of cardio and 3 sets of workout. And when you get to the 3rd set, we were aiming for 10. If you got 2, good. Next time we'll go for 3. So, and then stretching at the end of your workout is incredibly important. And again, as our bodies age, stretching becomes even more important. So it's strength, endurance, cardio, stretching, yoga, relaxation, learning how to let those muscles kind of go after you've worked out.
Should I do this once a week, every other week? How many times in a week, possibly? You're a beginner starting out.
Beginners. Yeah, I think an intentional workout 3 to 4 times a week. I would also like to offer, sometimes a vocabulary change helps me. And instead of using the word exercise or workout, I'd think about it in terms of movement. What have I moved today? How much have I moved? Because really every day you want to move as much as possible throughout the day. So dedicated workouts and knowing that you're here for a heightened experience, a heightened heart rate, more weight-bearing activities than you normally would, but then on a daily basis, thinking, how much have I moved today? And so I think that's really where we really start to see progression and changes happening when it becomes a daily implementation of just habits that change. Walking to the grocery store, walking to the coffee shop, riding your bike somewhere. And so those are the things that really catapult into
And I
big.
think smartwatches have kind of
Yeah,
helped with that, because you'll
agreed.
say, oh, I need to get my 10,000 steps today, so I better pick it up. And you can share that with other friends.
Yes.
And my brother and I compete. And he'll say, oh, today I had 22,000 steps. I'll say, well, I'll get you tomorrow. I'm going to have 22,500 steps. Or, so,
She
and
uses 22,000 as an example. I'm like, holy moly, Mel, what are you doing every
some
day?
days it's only 10 or 12.
Yes, I know.
But,
and
it's
how
a-
great is it though when you see those days too, because it keeps track for you, and you're like, oh, today was a light day, but then tomorrow you're really patting yourself on the back because those numbers jumped, and you can see it in your day. You're like, these numbers is what this day looked like. So then you can kind of put it together, that this activity for this day looks like these results and these steps. And so you're right, yeah, smartwatches have been a great
I
addition.
do have to throw in a small little joke.
Okay.
It turns out that some neighbors that I had where I used to live were always competing who did the most steps, like you and your brother. Well, the one lady put her smartwatch on her washing machine. And she was able to really
Oh, I'm curious.
count up the miles.
What were the numbers? Yeah.
Because
Or put it on your dog. and send your dog for a
Oh my
run.
gosh, I haven't thought about that one.
Good too. That's good.
You don't think your brother's doing that to you, do you?
I don't know. I'm
you're on to
not sure. He doesn't have a dog, but I do. So he may be putting it on my dog.
And because you are working somewhere to make people healthy or help them get healthy, is there a reason why a person should hire a trainer?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, exercise, first of all, it can probably be a little daunting knowing where to start, what to do. Some people may not even understand necessarily what their body personally might need in order to achieve the goals that they have, because all of us have different ailments and slightly different just structures of our body, the way we move. And so I think a trainer, we've been educated and trained on how to identify certain movement patterns that are either good or harmful to your joints and your muscles and the structure of your body. And so having an outside person being able to make those assessments and to see you and to be able to pinpoint, this is an area that we should work on, and that will actually help you improve maybe something that an ailment that you're suffering from. That's just one thing. That's just the beginning. And I think then the journey begins after that. And so then you have accountability and encouragement, great structured workouts, right? That if I know that we need to target your lower back and your glutes back there, then I've got some really great ideas for how we can do that. And hopefully ones that you might not be familiar with and that would be exciting for you to learn. And so I think, having a personal trainer can really be a full package and very beneficial for a lot of people.
Well, and a lot of the people I work with have hips, knees, backs, shoulder issues, and not knowing how to do an exercise can be more damaging than exercising. So sometimes we can look and just say, if you would tuck your tailbone under a little bit right here, it's going to take the arch out of your back. Or understanding that everything starts in our feet. So I took a corrective exercise, and if your knee tips in, it might be because of the way you walk. And so being able to bring all of those things into the learning and experience, I think we're able to add some value to their workouts.
And I think hopefully then they walk away with knowledge as well, because I have now shared this with you and it is yours to have and to use and to be empowered and to implement for yourself. Now that you know it, you can take it with you for the rest of your life, that now you know a proper squat, knees are straight ahead, knees aren't folding in, and so if you're ever somewhere and you're squatting and you look in the mirror, you say, oh, Morgan told me my knees should not cave in. And so
Is that why there are mirrors in a lot of the exercise rooms?
Yep.
I don't think I'd want to watch myself.
Yeah, I don't like to watch myself either.
It's a bittersweet, isn't it, the mirrors? But it's definitely for your benefit, absolutely. If you know what you're looking for, which is another reason why, at least having a conversation with a trainer can be helpful.
And I'll often video if I can't. We all learn in different ways. Maybe touching or watching or doing, but I'll video somebody and say, now, this isn't quite right, and this is what you need to do, and they'll look at it and go, oh, aha.
They didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, we're able to do that and give them those opportunities.
Okay, I have to say this. Isn't exercise just exercise?
No.
Have at it, ladies.
It is. It's a way of life. And, it allows us to do the activities of daily living, which is really kind of the first floor. Can you get up off the floor? Can you bend over and pick up something? Do you know the proper body mechanics for picking up? I don't know how many times I've reached down, picked up something, turned, and then I went, oh, that was painful. But no, you work it into your everything you do in your life. Picking up your grandkids, you can pick them pick them up right. You can pick them up wrong, but
and not pick them up again.
And then
not pick them up again, which we don't want to do that either.
We don't want that. Yeah.
I know.
So it's just part of life.
You add your...
Yeah, no, I agree. It's being able to accept the invitation to play volleyball at the barbecue you're at. It's being able to keep up with your grandkids or walk your dog at the dog park. Maybe you've got a really strong dog, and so it's maintaining it's maintaining strength and wellness to be able to participate in life, I think, and then build up to the cherry on top, right? Then it becomes less about the exercise, and it's about the community you're with, and it's about the place that you're experiencing it in, and it's about how you feel when you're done, and then you want to do it all over again because it was a great experience. Yeah. And so I think that's ultimately, exercise is, our bodies are made to move. We're machines.
Yep.
And you would never park your car in the driveway and just turn it off and leave it there. It needs to be cycled and warmed and worked. And these are our bodies, right? They are machines meant to do work. We're meant to do, and so keeping your machine well fueled, well circulated, well used, and then being able to continue living life.
Yeah, I don't know very many people that exercise just for the exercise. I exercise to support the life and activities that I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a few minutes left. Can you wrap it up for me, ladies, of how you would like the people at home who are about to see a few things they can do at home to prepare them for what you're going to do?
I will do some demos with a couple cans of green beans and a laundry detergent. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Now I am going to say not everything you see on YouTube and Google should be followed. There's some very unhealthy things there. But there are lots of things you can do in your home, in a park. Go out on a park and do a circuit of push-ups and jumping jacks and things that are just part of your wonderful walk.
How about you, Morgan?
I hopefully will be able to share implementing some water exercises. Obviously you need water in order to participate, but I would like to share a mindset change a little bit around working out in the water and exercising in the water. That way it might open a new door of curiosity for someone to think that maybe that's something that they would want to try, knowing that they have a new set of tools to work in the water. So we're going to be working on functional movements rather than treading water, as you would say,
or
just swimming laps. Yeah,
that's really kind of boring.
It is kind of boring. Yeah, and if you don't know how, then you're probably already deterred. And so the things I'm going to show, you already do these things in your everyday life. You probably have hobbies that you do these things, and so we're going to take them into the water.
I can't thank you ladies enough for joining us. This has been a pleasure. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you,
thank
Now
you.
we'll get the set ready for everybody to get busy.
Awesome, thank you. So right now I'm going to do a demonstration of some exercises you could do at home. It's great to go to a gym. There are several great gyms in this area. But during COVID, we had to get creative about how we were going to exercise. I did a lot of Zoom programs. But a few things you can get, not a lot of money, but you can buy some resistance bands. I just bought a set of 5 bands with 5 of these bands for less than $30. And they're very versatile. You can do a lot of things with these. But if you don't have those, or during COVID you couldn't buy those, I used cans of fruit or vegetables or soup. I worked with my parents. They lived in Arizona. I did Zoom with them and they did bicep curls. They did tricep extensions. We did a lot of balance work. You could use something heavier for your squats or for a one-arm row. So you can be kind of creative, and you can also do well with just a little bit of equipment. So the first thing we're going to use is going to be a resistance band. This can be used for a lot of different things. You can use it to open up the shoulders. So all of us are in some kind of work that has us bent over, head down, shoulders caved in. We need to do some things to open up our shoulders, bring our back muscles, the scapular area of our back. So you can take a band, just pull back a few times, and as you're doing that, feel your shoulder blades come together and like you're trying to tuck them in your back pockets. You can also use these. So I'm going to have Morgan hold this for me. And I'm going to show you a few upper body exercises and a few lower body exercises. So if you're at a gym, you're going to have a cable machine, probably, but you can do your own. And I put one foot forward, trying to keep balance, and you just bring it around. You're working your chest muscles, you're working your biceps, you're working your triceps, and you're working the muscles in your back. Now I can turn it around the other way and do a row. So shoulders are back, you bring it back. You concentrate on the shoulder blades coming together, again, down and towards your back pockets. You can also use this to work this part of your back. You hinge, so you don't bend at the waist. We're going to hinge at the hips, keep the arms straight, and come right straight back. I can also use this for triceps, so go ahead. So I'm going to hang on to it. Elbow will be on my hip, and I'm going to bring it back. You're going to work this muscle. Tiny little movement, but this is the one that, as we get a little older, starts to shake when we wave our arm. It's also the one that you use to put stuff up on the top of the top shelf in your kitchen. So all of these so far, I would do somewhere between 10 and 15 repetitions, and I would do them 3 times. You can also use this for some bicep curls. These come in 5 different resistance levels, so you figure out what resistance is good for you. Always start with your shoulders back, your stomach is tight, and we're going to just come up here and work your biceps. Again, and your feet are going to be at an athletic position, about shoulders apart. Elbows don't move, just the bicep muscle moves. We can also use this to work the outside of our legs. So this one, this is not a very tight band. You can walk sideways. It's going to get the outside of your leg. Whatever you do one side, you're going to do the other side. I would do 15 to 20 steps each direction. You could attach this to a pole. So if Morgan wasn't standing there to hold it, you could attach it to a pole on your deck, in your house somewhere, a tree. I did some training this summer, and we used a tree for a lot of these exercises. Then I will go to these. These again come in 5 4 to 5 different resistance levels. You can again work your back muscles. So I'm going to turn around so you see what is happening with the back. So when I come out, you should see the shoulder blades coming together in the middle and down. Lori, will you come join me for a minute? So I'm going to have you do some banded jumping jacks. Okay, so I'm going to put this around your feet. Okay.
And then what do I do?
So you're going to just do a jumping jack.
Ooh.
Definitely wasn't prepared.
Yes. So it gives you that extra resistance and makes it a little bit harder
Yeah.
for your
definitely.
jumping jacks.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'll have you do another one. So, how's your balance?
Pretty good.
Okay. Take one foot out. I am going to hang on to this. You're going to pull your foot back.
This one.
And you're going to feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes. Back a little more and forward.
Oh, yeah.
And back, forward, back, forward. You could also attach this to the leg of a chair or something that's going to keep it good and tight. Now, you're going to go forward.
With this leg?
And I'm going to hang on back here and pull forward, and you should feel it in this set of muscles. Lift it up
Yeah.
and
I
down,
feel it.
up, down, up. We're going to do 5, 4, and 5. Okay, so did you feel that on both sides, the front and
Yes.
back? Okay, now I'm going to put this around both feet again. And I just did an exercise using a band going side to side. You're going to do it with this.
So just go like this.
2, and then come back. So you should feel that on the outsides
Yes,
of your
definitely.
legs. Okay? Now, if you want to shift that back a little bit more to the glutes, you're going to do a monster walk. So and that's not good enough. Then you have to return it around and go backwards.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
2, 3, 4,
This is awesome.
5, 6. Now come backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So now we've pretty much gotten all of the way around the leg. Okay, so I'll take this off here. Whoop. And just to let you know, I think I'm stuck. This is the light band. So there are 5. This is the next to lowest one. So you can up your game a little bit with that. Okay, let's see. Core. We're going to do some core and glute work. So we're going to get down on the floor. And I'm sure you've done these before. Glute bridges.
Okay.
So we're going to lay hand palms up. You're going to lift up. You're going to tighten this, hold it for about 5 seconds, and then back down.
So I'll just set up shop here.
Okay, ready and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Up and down. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. That's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're going to bring your hands up here. This is going to require a little more work through the core. And up. and down. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, and 3. Okay, now we're going to lift 1. We're going to do a 1-leg glute bridge. So you're going to lift up and you're going to bring your toes toward you. 4, 5, down. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. 3,
So hard. Yeah, I know.
down.
I'm like, I know how that feels.
Yep, we can bring them up, and then we're going to switch to the other side. 3, 4, 5, down. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. And last one. 5, and down. So that's going to work your glutes.
Yeah, I definitely feel the burn.
Can you feel it? Okay. Now we're going to go to a little bit of stomach. And some back exercises are really not good, or some core are not good for backs if you've got problems. So by keeping your feet either on the ground or here, you're keeping your back flat against the floor. And we're just going to do some mini crunches. We're going to do 12, and you're going to tell me how they feel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, can you feel that in your core?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So now I'll give you a couple more, but we're going to do some stretching while we're right here. So again, arms are out to your side, feet are on the ground. Keep your shoulders down and roll both legs to one side. You should feel it gently up your back and your side. I hold stretches about 20 seconds. Then we're going to go to the other side. And it's not unusual for one side of the body to be stiffer than the other side, especially if you have injuries. So now we're going to go back to the first stretch, but we're going to enhance it. And again, I would hold that about 20 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to switch it. Okay, and now you're going to take one leg in, bring the other one over the top of it, hold it for 20, and to the other side. So remember, after you've worked out, to always stretch. So thank you very much for helping.
Thank you for showing me that.
Yes. And I'm going to let Morgan take it from here.
Okay. I'm going to switch gears. Thank you, Mel.
Yes.
A lot of really great exercises you can do at home. I'm going to show some new options that people may not have considered for working out in the water. So obviously you're going to need some access to water. I do actually like to practice some of these in my little hot tub I have in my backyard. So whatever your water, wherever you find water to be submerged in, a lot of these exercises can be adapted to be done in many different depths. So the focus is going to be on functional movement. So I would like you to think about the next time you are in your next water workout, what activities you like to do most. And this might be your hiking, for instance. We do a lot of hiking in Washington. So in the water, marching in place. You can also do this as a traveling move, and this will help you, your heart rate will come up as you travel forward, marching forwards, and you can also march backwards, which will challenge your balance and your core. That would be considered a base level move. We also have some cross-country skiing available to us in Washington. This would be considered a cross-country ski in water. The legs are scissoring, the arms are moving opposite, and you have that fluid motion. Again, you can do that in place, and you can also travel that way for a more cardio-induced workout. This can be done also with bent knees if you're in a more shallow environment like my hot tub. This is a great stretch to open the hip flexors, open the hips, help elevate your core. So consider they call it shortening your lever, so bending your knee, and you can do that same motion. We can also do jacks in the water. So the great thing about the water is that it absorbs impact. So you will find that if the floor, the earth, meets you with a little resistance, you will find less impact in the water. So trying jumping jacks in the water. This might be a little painful on land, but in the water will be more gentle, and you'll also find that cardio experience. I also encourage you to try your yoga in the water. So balancing is really difficult with gravity. The water provides so much more support. So we can do lots of one-legged. I'll show forward. I encourage your tree pose. You might try a warrior pose. You might try a star pose. This has been a really fun one I've integrated recently. So from your warrior, can I balance? You open into your star. So with these, you'll find that you might not be able to do them very well on land, or that they're uncomfortable, they're painful, or just very challenging. I encourage you to try them in the water. So those are a few exercises and some functional movements that you're doing in your everyday life, whether you're running, you're hiking. Lastly, I can also show you that riding your bike in the water. This is a wonderful exercise that really activates the glutes and the hamstrings. So without a bike, of course, you will cycle through the water, both legs cycling, extending the leg, pulling through the heel. This is a full body engagement. So mimicking your everyday activities, the things you like to do, what you enjoy spending your time. The water can assist in training for those activities. The water can assist in recovering from those activities. So I encourage you to take all of the things you like to do in your life and bring them into the water and break them up into segments. So you can do your cross-country ski for 30 seconds. You can do your jack for 30 seconds. And take it through a nice flow. I think you'll find that you'll get great cardio, and you'll also find great balance and core work as well. Thank you. Dottie, come on over. Thanks for having us today. Great to see you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of In the Know Women's Show. My name is Dottie LaRonge, and thank you for joining us.